Hello, true art believers, and welcome to today's live stream. It is an early one. I hope you are having a wonderful Saturday. This is Pierson here. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and today is day 183 of 200 days of drawing. So we're going to kind of keep it simple because we got to get it going. We got to get this drawing done as quickly as possible, which is pretty much every day. Unfortunately, I wish I had like a time where I could just kind of like sit back and relax, take a casual approach to this live stream, where I'm literally not, I don't have any impending duties within the next 2 hours or hour frame. So let's begin today's drawing, shall we? And how is everyone doing today? I am doing quite well. I'm doing very well, thank you. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the little time-lapse button here on my phone, and we're going to begin. And we're just going to try to navigate the conversation as I go. Usually it takes me a good 10 minutes to kind of get the ball rolling with regards to the conversation, or like what's this person talking about, so I'm going to be doing I've been doing a lot of mid-tone grays or like muted tones. So like this is a mid-tone like purple, but like it's not even a mid-tone purple, it's like a grayish purple. And today we're just going to keep it simple. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, which is pretty much every live stream that you see me do these cactus drawings. I don't really change the strategy. I just kind of do the same thing over and over again, and then go from there. So I mix it up a little bit, but I don't really do anything different. I just keep it the same because there is utility in just repeating the same action over and over again. And I also do it because of that utility. I'm able to get these drawings done in a rather quick fashion, and there's something nice about that. Looks like a like I don't know what he's doing. So we're going to do a simple cactus today. All the cactuses are simple, so the conversation is always the same. It never changes. I never do anything significantly different. Sometimes I'll add a mustache. Sometimes I won't. It just all kind of it just all. There we go. It just it doesn't really matter, actually. Well, it does matter to me, but the how they look, the outcome, the outcome doesn't matter as much because of the process. So I think I've learned how to shortcut the centering method. Before I was using a little pathway to center my image, but I think I've streamlined it, and I'm kind of happy about that. So I have a topic to talk about today, and I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I have something to talk about, and I think it's going to slowly progress into something of merit. But right now, I gotta kind of slowly ease into it. So that the way I segue into it is probably talking about my day and what I'm going to do today, because it's an early live stream. Now, typically I don't have early live streams because I don't really have that time availability, but I have just so happen to have some free time today, because I'm going to be doing I'm going to be I'm a gonna be. What's that song with Black Eyed Peas? I'm a bee. Anyways, I am going to work early, and because I'm going to work early, I there we go. I have to do this drawing as early as possible. So I woke up late, a lot later than normal. Usually I wake up at 4 o'clock. If anyone that watches these live streams, I wake up at like around 4 o'clock, and I do a series of things. Um, and those series of things usually entail me doing some commission work, or either a commission work, or on certain days I'll work out. So today was an exercise day, but and then I do some daily planning, kind of plan my next 4 days, because I work out every 4 days I work out, and I try to use that time to kind of plan the next 4 days. But it was a long day last night. I didn't get to bed till like 1 a.m. I just wasn't able to do the work that I normally do, and because of that, I wasn't able to wake up because it was so late, or so early, or whatever you call it, like not late, so early in the morning. I wasn't able to wake up. Well, I probably could have woken up. I probably could have woke up and got up and done the things that I needed to do, but at the time frame that I normally do them. Um, but the only benefit to that would be just maintaining consistency within my schedule. Uh, but the the thing that I would have lost is probably I would still end up going back to sleep, going back to bed after I finished up my morning routine, and taking a long nap. Um, and what may have happened is I may have not been able to do this live stream at this time. It may have been relegated to the end of the day, and I would not have wanted to do that. So I slept in, which is fine. I'm trying to self-rationalize. Oh, it was okay. It's okay that you slept in, because I'm normally very what's it called, meticulous about how I use my time. Usually, I'm pretty meticulous about how I use my time, but not today, because weekends are kind of iffy, because I have a work schedule that kind of keeps me up past a certain time, that makes it really, really difficult to get up at 4 a.m. During the week, I have a little bit more, like I have a little bit more control of when I can go to bed, because I get out earlier on those days. But this during the weekend is when it's kind of, like, what's going on, right? So now I'm just adding the flats here. Very simple process. Just adding the flats to this cactus, and then we're going to go and start adding the details in a bit. And hopefully I'll get to the topic that I was wanting to talk about, or something that I want to kind of at least talk about, so that I can have some experience in talking about or about the concept or the idea. Um, so these live streams typically end up being kind of like me thinking more existentially about life, and about how I organize my time, et cetera, et cetera. So they're kind of like a diary of sorts. They're kind of like I guess you'd call them vlog, but only the vlog is not me like doing those videos where the people vlog. They're like, I'm a vlogger. No, they just do a video themselves, like just them, but they're not doing something. Like right now, they're not doing something. I'm pretty sure there's a genre for what I'm doing. It's kind of like doing a live stream vlog, but I'm also doing other things in there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to use a hard edge brush, and we're going to just play around here. There we go. Get some purple in there. And then some lighter purple. Maybe like a dark purple. And then maybe a blue. Nope. There we go. We'll just leave it like that. And yeah, we'll call that a day. Lock the layer. Lock this background layer. Lock this. Now we're on to the cactus. Yeah, keep it simple, you know. So the whole thing is, the whole shtick of these live streams is kind of like it's like a vlog, you know, where I just kind of talk about my thoughts, talk about what's going on in my day, and then hopefully come out of it a more well-rounded or a more thoughtful individual. So I think that would be an end goal to these live streams. Is at the end of the day, I'm thinking about these things, which makes me more mindful of them, which makes me a little bit better in those with these ideas. Because the more articulate I'm able to kind of talk about these topics, the better understanding I have of them. Or at least that's how I feel. And I think that's, well, no, I think there's some truth to that, because I'm repeating it. It's all about repetition. Everything I do is all about repetition. I'm a very hard learner. Like it takes me forever to learn things. And it takes me, the thing that one of the major skills that I have is just I can do boring stuff or repetition over and over again and not like get bored over them, right? I can just do them over and over again. So I have no problem about stumbling. I have no problem stumbling in these live streams, or stumbling through a thought, or stumbling my words. Jeez. You know, I have no problem doing that. Like, I have to say, oh, it's unscripted, you know? And we're so used to these people that are able to give speeches so eloquently and easily without any problem whatsoever, you know? And I'm going to be honest with you, it's for them, it probably took them 1/8 the amount of time as me, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they're like in every night or every day at the end of their workday, they go and stare at the mirror and they like do speeches, you know? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I just know that I'm a hard learner, and it takes me a while to do. I'm getting a little OCD on this stuff. It takes me a while to really dial in an idea, and it takes me a while to navigate those thoughts. You know, it's a hard thing for me. I'm a very hard learner. Like I was, like I little honesty time. I was so slow at learning that when I was being taught to learn cursive, they just stopped teaching me. Like I fell so far behind in learning cursive because the school, everyone was ahead. Everyone was like doing the whole alphabet, and I'm like, okay, I got A, B, C, and yeah, it just took me so long to figure out how to write cursive, and I never learned how to do cursive. I don't know what's happening here. I think I'm just kind of getting a little OCD. And the reason why I never learned it is various reasons. Just like how I'm doing these cactus drawings, I have to know like the ins and out of this, how to draw this cactus, to do these cactus drawings. I have to know it like to a T. I have to know exactly all the steps and be basically what I have to be to learn a thing is I have to actually become an expert at it. I can't like become like fluent in it to an extent. So like um when I was doing learning cursive, like they quit because it wasn't the way they were teaching it didn't click, or at the time maybe I didn't have the patience level that I have now. There's a million things to why I didn't learn how to do cursive, a million and one reasons why, and I think it had to do with like I was just uh, a hard learner mixed with I didn't have the level of patience that I have now, and learning is all about patience. You know, you need a lot of patience, and I just didn't have patience to the extent that I have now, and it was the reason why I didn't learn how to do cursive. Um, so that's why when I'm doing these live streams and I'm fumbling, I am fumbling. I'm I'm like what's it called, like in a comedian term for comedians, in a comedian's like language, I'm bombing on stage. That's why I bomb on stage all the time. But the thing about that is I don't care if I bomb. Like I've been embarrassed so many times as a kid that I don't even care. Like it's sad to say it, but as a kid I was embarrassed. Like I was short. Like I'm still short, but like I was short and tubby, you know. And being short's hard enough, you know, because everyone else is like they're in their high school and middle school years. They're all growing, and you're like just still like you're still like you're still a what's it called what's the you're still like a hobbit, you know. You're still like a hobbit, and everyone else is growing, and then and they're all teasing you. You know, people are just like there's you know middle schoolers are just they're rough, man. They can be a rough crowd. They're like teasing you. Oh, why aren't you growing? Like I don't know, man. I'm just a kid. Stop telling me. Stop like attacking my inability to grow. I can't like say I can't just will it to be, you know. And because of that, I was angry. I guess I was an angry individual because people I was teased. You know, it wasn't fun being teased as a kid. Um, so I had several factors to those things, and not and that combined with just being a hard learner, you know, just made things worse. So I was a hard learner. It took me a while to really learn and understand concepts, and it made for a rather a not fun childhood for a while. And oh man, if I think about it now, in regards to like what people are doing, like cyberbullying, I would be toast, man. I would be totally toast because today it's like bullying on steroids, you know. Anyways, so I'm just a hard learner, and it takes me a while to really understand these concepts. So as I said, I never learned cursive. I just now one of my goals for like the year is to learn cursive. That's not going to happen. I need to figure out a system to do that. Um, and so during these live streams, I talk about these ideas, and I talk about them because if I talk about them, that repetition, that those reps, getting in those that mental rep in the day helps you be able to talk about these things in more than just in more of a complex manner. So when I talk about certain things, like I talk about when I repeat talk when I talk about finding value in your day, being happy, or um, finding something that makes you that gives you joy. You know, I'm trying to navigate a way around these ideas a little bit, and also give me some sort of thought to and also give me something to think about later on. Like, oops. So it's like a rough draft So these live streams kind of like a rough draft where you're let's say that you're a writer and you're writing your rough draft. You're writing your novel, right? And you're going through several iterations. That's what these live streams are about. Like I'm going through several iterations of thoughts, and I'm going through not just that several iterations of thoughts, but I'm also going through um, there we go. There we go. And we're done with that. We're going to lock that layer. I'm not just going through several iterations of thoughts. I am going through multiple ideas during the whole live stream. And I'm trying to navigate through them. And I don't know what the premise of this live stream is yet. I think what I'm trying to espouse in this is the concept of repetition and not having fear of failing, and this is what these live streams kind of do, is kind of shows me as an open book and shows you that I'm very I make a lot of mistakes, not just in drawing but just in general. I make a lot of mistakes um in 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 processing ideas. um but it also shows to you that I'm not afraid of failing or making those mistakes. In today's world, there's like, I think schools kind of done this to a lot of to some extent. Is they've kind of they've kind of like made it bad to just make to do things wrong or to mess up. Like it's a bad thing to mess up. You need to mess up. You need to make mistakes, so that you can find the errors in your way. And we typically don't like that. We don't think that we're always thinking like, oh, if you make a mistake, you're somehow flawed as an individual, and that is not the case, man. You are not flawed if you make a mistake. You learn through your mistakes, because if you don't make any mistakes, how do you know what you're doing wrong? Or if you don't think you're making mistakes, how do you know what you're doing is wrong? Like, how do you know? Oh, if you don't, you can't improve in drawing if you don't know, if you're not making any mistakes, or if you don't even know you're making mistakes. If all you think is your work is just the perfect, your drawings are the best, the greatest things since sliced bread, and every drawing you make is just pure gold, then you are not growing as an artist. Or maybe you're like maybe you're a prodigy. Then maybe you're a prodigy. Gosh, I'm just stumbling through my words. Maybe you're a prodigy and you don't even know it, and you literally have been blessed with the gift of not making any mistakes, which could also be a curse in its own right, maybe, because then you don't know what it's like to actually struggle. And life, artwork in life is to some extent like about kind of like struggle. I hate to say it, but it's about struggle. You're going to be struggling to some extent. To some extent, if you don't struggle in everything, in the things that you do, then what's the satisfaction in succeeding? We all A lot of us want to like succeed, but they don't want to struggle. But like succeeding without struggle, it just doesn't have the feel. It doesn't have the like that emotional feel, like, because you don't feel like, I guess if you didn't struggle during the process, it might not feel like you earned it, or it might feel like just kind of like vanilla, like, oh, I won again. Nothing really, just kind of won. If you're always winning and you never make mistakes, man, you probably become very, very selfish or conceited, I guess, if everything you did was perfect. Because you would basically think that you're better than everyone else, I guess. I don't know what the thought process of a person would be if everything that they did was like literal gold. Literally it turned to gold. I can't imagine what it would be like. Because, as I was saying, I'm an incredibly hard learner. So maybe these live streams are this live stream particularly is talking about you should if you're seeing me do these live streams like, oh, this guy sucks. Well, maybe I do. But I don't. I'm the thing about it is you want to use. I don't use external forces. I don't have those external forces guide my decisions. If I did that, I probably wouldn't still be doing these live streams because I know deep down they're not the greatest. You know, they're they're probably average at best, but there's some honesty to it. And there's some at least I think there's some honesty to it. At least I think there's some honesty to it. There's some truth to it. And there's some like just there's some truth to just persevering. I'm doing these live streams, and some of them really do suck. I'm not gonna lie, some of them suck, and then some of them are just like magical. Some of them are just like magic, and there's something about that small portion where that small 10% of those live streams that are just like, wow, that was magical. And then it kind of gives you meaning. It makes you. It has a little bit of selfishness to it, right? You feel good about yourself. There's nothing wrong with feeling good about yourself. Nothing wrong with feeling proud of your accomplishments. I think people in today's age, with a few things in today's age, people frown upon people that make mistakes, and they also frown upon people that are overly boastful of their accomplishments. And there's nothing wrong with being boastful of your accomplishments every once in a while. To be proud of it, right? Just like as I'm saying right now, like I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've done 183 live streams. It's an incredible feat for any individual, even if it doesn't like do anything. I did something for 180 days. That's hard. That is a hard feat to do. And I want you to do that. I want you to be able to find find something that you want to do and make you happy, and do that for that time. I'm not saying do it every day, but definitely find something that is going to bring you joy in life, and do it. I think a lot of us are really sad. Not like sad in like, oh, in a pathetic sense, but like I think we're like literally emotionally sad. A lot of us are not happy with ourselves because we see this thing about these social media, man. They really hit the self-esteem hard on a lot of people. We see people posting their lives, and we take them at like face value, like, oh, look how good so and so is doing, and it can be disheartening, disheartening to see people quote unquote succeeding, but what you gotta understand that sometimes that itself is a lie. They're putting over this like fake social media life and making you see it and feel bad about yourself. I think a lot of these influencers are actually more harmful than they are doing good, because they're putting like this distorted view on life and the reality of it. Sometimes, of course, we want our life to be like the best life that we can lead, and the only way you can do that is just through pure effort, and some pure effort, and just like finding your why, finding what makes you happy and doing it. Now, if watching live stream, like artists do live streams that talk about finding your why and doing it make you happy, by all means do that. I mean, I'm not it's not making me sad. I'm actually proud. I'm happy that this brings you joy in the day, and you're it maybe it might motivate you because like, oh, this guy's an average Joe, which I am. I'm like an average Joe, dude. Like an average Joe, just kind of doing my thing, you know. Like I'm my drawings are not the greatest. I'll be honest. They're not like the best in the world, but they're not the worst. But one thing that I could say that I have that other people might not have is just hard work and true grit, man. And that's a learned skill. Everyone can have that. It's hard. What happens is we get emotional with some of these things. Like I get it. I've been in jobs where it can be rough, man. You can have rough days at work. You know, I'm about to go to one. Like I'm gonna have a long day at work. I'm gonna after I do this live stream and I have some coffee and maybe do a little bit of planning for tomorrow. I'm gonna work for 11 hours. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to working for 11 hours straight um, after this live stream. But I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm gonna do it, and this is how I'm pretty much an average Joe. Is I'm literally gonna be working for 11 hours straight, and it's not gonna be 11 hours straight of drawing. It's gonna be 11 hours straight at a bar. You know, it's my weekend. It's my weekend job. All right, it's turning out pretty good. I think what happened is I'm gonna do a few more details. I have a bit of a some extra time here. Um, so I can whoa, what's going on here? Stop. No. There we go. I have a bit extra time so I can do some things that I normally don't do. So I'm gonna maybe add a little bit more some darker lines on some of these areas. So put a little bit more contour lines in some of them, kind of express them to some extent, not outline all of them, but really kind of get some of these areas over here a little bit more dark. Maybe have some like a line, like a darker line right here, and kind of express to some extent some dark tones right here. Kind of get some dark tones right here. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We got to find everyone has their own struggles. All of us have our own struggles, right? And we're all trying to navigate life in the best way that we know. And just take some solace in knowing that everyone's struggling to in their own way. And you got to be sensitive. You can't say like, "Oh, this person's struggling more than others." Some people. Yes, I agree. Some people have it worse than others. They do. Um, it's just the way it is. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't like that. But you can't discredit the same type of struggle that other people are having because to them it might feel just equally as bad because that person hasn't been exposed to certain things that you maybe have been exposed to me. And it sucks that in theory that you hear like, oh, stories that people that have it way rougher than you, and yet there's people that are complaining about their latte being cold. And yes, I agree, that's kind of stupid. That's a stupid thing. That's a small thing that you shouldn't really need. It doesn't really need to be. It's a moot point, right? It really doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things. um, it doesn't matter. It's a small thing, but to them, it's important. It's important. It's important. But then again, you can always make the argument that those things are are irrelevant. So I think I'm done with this. I'm going to put the thorns in. I kind of talked a little bit more than I needed to, and this drawing is going to be about a 40-minute drawing because yeah. It's not as good as the last one, the one that I did in 30 minutes. It's just the way it is. And I talked a little bit. I talked longer than what I normally talk than normal, and that initial conversation slowed me down on some thought processes. So we're just going to put some thorns here and call it a day. But I get it. We all have our own struggles, and everyone has their own demons to kind of tackle. And this takes time. It takes practice. It takes some mental fortitude. you know and as I said, these live streams, they're not the greatest. They're average at best. And um there's probably a few like nice sound bites in there that have like some really golden uh tips, advice, life advice in there, something that really gives meaning to someone. um yeah, so just keep pushing forward, and keep your eye on the prize, keep working. Do something that gives you some sort of meaning in a day. Some people might get value in like playing the guitar or playing the piano or playing an instrument or talking to friends or doing a good deed or volunteering something. you know you want to be 1% better each day. You want to do something that will that will benefit the world to some extent. That like years later, maybe someone will watch this video and find like, wow, there were some really good points in there, or maybe there wasn't. I don't know. The thing is, um, the thing about it is, I put my chips in for the to put my chips in there. You know, I put my penny in the well, or put my penny in the wishing well, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and something came from it. So what might come from it after this is I'll be really really good at doing cactuses, but I'll be better at articulating some thoughts and ideas that were normally very foreign to me and very difficult to articulate. You know, and I gathered a skill of being able to talk um, thoughts or ideas a little longer, because it's hard to talk about things in any form or another for an extended period of time. That's a very difficult skill. And everyone thinks everything that everyone thinks is really simple is very complex. Like this cactus is a very simple, like visually it's a very simple thing, but the process to get to this cactus drawing is actually quite complex. you know uh, Even on paper. And I just want everyone to think about what they're doing in their day, how they feel about themselves, and start thinking about maybe just not worrying about other people's opinions, and just focus on yourself, make yourself better in whatever avenue that you are trying to pursue. You know, that's why I like art. Art is like the great equalizer, or the great like the ultimate humbling device. Like no matter how good you are, there's always going to be someone better than you in some degree or another. Or doing something that you admire and you can't do particularly well, but they can do phenomenally well. So it's very humbling, and it also allows you to improve upon yourself, because it allows you to self-reflect a little bit. And that combined with these live streams, for me, the live streams are very humbling, because um, as a kid, I was naturally like an introvert, because I was teased a lot. I was made fun of. Like it was awful. Like it was the worst. Like I remember, like in middle school, all the cool kids would would like you could see them. You could see them. They'd be talking in a huddle. They'd be whispering, whatever they were doing. They would be whispering in like the hot chick or whatever it was, was that was in that group would they were would turn around. So let's say there was a group of like 5 people, and they're like there was a bunch of girls, a bunch of guys, and they're all whispering it, and you could tell they're looking back at me because like, oh, we want to give this guy a little tease, a little like we want to make fun of him or embarrass him to some degree. So they would whisper and then they turn around and look at me, and then they'd and I noticed like, oh man, I'm getting some attention because I'm a kid, and like I crave some friendships, and then like the cute middle schooler when you're in that age would turn around and like talk to you, and then like they yeah they would make it seem like, oh, I like you. And I'm like, oh, cool. And you're like a little kid. You're just like a teenager, and you're not used to that type of thing. And then they'd like say some weird. They'd probably do something mean to you, like, oh, just fucking kidding. Oops, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to curse like that. Just kidding. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they laugh at you. Yeah, what I don't know, what is that? I don't even know what that is. That like that's something you like in those, you'd see that in movies where they'd like was it like honey potting or catfishing or something? They like they'd bait you, they'd you would what's the phrase? Oh no. Oops. I don't know what that phrase is. All I know is it was completely demoralizing and embarrassing. Where they basically those people would give you attention and make you think that you could be friends with them. That like they you could be a part of their group, and then they would say like whatever, you're just a loser or whatever. That I don't remember. It's a blur to me, but I know that you see those in like you see that type of behavior in movies where they have like the cool group talk to like talking to each other, and then they turn around and then they go ahead and give like the outcast attention, and then they'd say, we're just kidding, you're not cool, and then they like embarrass you some way or another. And that happened to me in like middle school more than probably should be. That more than, yeah, well, it should have happened, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I was awkward and not very popular, whatever that means. I wasn't really and I guess middle school was just rough, and I was that combined with being a slow learner, really affected my self-esteem, I guess, whatever that meant, whatever that means. And yeah, it can be rough, man. So that's why I don't care so much about, oh, these live streams are not the best that they could, right? They're not successful. I don't know if that's, should I have, I've been drawing those letters larger and larger. Let's shrink them. Let's shrink it. There we go. And we'll move it. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's like I don't have a problem making mistakes live. I don't have a problem embarrassing myself because I've done it so many times already. Like I'm like immune to it. Like I've embarrassed myself so many times that nothing you could say can really hurt me. You know, like you could say the most insulting thing to me, like you're probably right, and then I'll shrug it off. And because I had a good, not a good, but I had very strong experiences during my formative years, and it really built up those calluses. So I know that my drawings may not be the best. I know that there are a lot of people better than me, and I know that some people's drawings and ability to talk on live is better than me. But I also have a skill that some people might not have, is like just unwilling, like the ability to just keep going at it over and over again and improving small micro, like small increments through time. Because I know that I'm a really, 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 really slow learner. And what may appear to be like, oh wow, you're really articulate. Your drawings are really good. You must have been really talented as a kid. And I'm like, no, I was very bad, like very, very bad, very bad. I can't stress how bad I was. Like the people that were drawing started out at a high, like their baseline. Think of it like this: like in Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Vegeta. Vegeta's baseline strength was at like whatever it was, super high, and then Goku was Vegeta's baseline strength was like 500 points. Goku's was at like 5. That's what I feel like. I'm like when I started out, I'm at 5, and then everyone else starts out at like 500, and just through constantly throwing my rock or my pebble in the pond or my penny in the wishing well, I just built up that skill, and then I got to 5, and then 500, and now I'm at 5,000 or whatever it is. So just through repetition over and over again. So it's taken me 183 days to be able to articulate some of these ideas, articulate thoughts, and talk about things over and over again. Talk about things in perpetuity. Um, you know, I normally slur words and stutter, uh, and I've gotten better at that. I've gotten better at mitigating that. Uh, so I guess these live streams are way like a vlog, kind of going through ideas, a churn pot of ideas that may be of value to people. At the very least, is very humbling and shows that other people that other people can succeed too, or other people can go through the same things that I'm going through, and take solace in knowing that there is struggle, and you will and know that you are going to stumble and make errors, and that's okay. It's okay to make errors. None of we're always so afraid of making errors, and want you to know it's okay to make those errors. You're going to be fine, man. Well, anyways, that is it. I am done with this drawing. Um, since I have a little bit of a time available, I was able to talk a little bit and slow down a little bit, and it turned out pretty well. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If this live stream brings you value, don't forget to subscribe. It really means the world to me. And there's benefits to subscribing. You will be the first to know when I have art giveaways. I just mailed out a piece to Indonesia. And when that person receives that piece, I will be setting up the next art giveaway really soon. So if you subscribe, you will be notified when I have an art giveaway. And so there is some utility in just being subscribed, not just, oh, he's trying to get more subscribed so he can get more people to follow him. Well, there is a little bit of selfishness in that regard. Like, I mean, look at, yeah, there's a little bit of selfishness in that regard, but there is some, I'm trying to give back the best that I can. And that is either providing you with actual tangible artwork or providing you with some ideas and maybe something that will benefit you in later on, right? You might get some value in these ideas. You might get value in this notion that it's okay to mess up, it's okay to stumble over and over again, and it might take you a lot of errors. I mean, look at me. It's taken me so many. I've done 183 of these, and I've done 183 of these live streams, and still it takes me about 15 minutes of just random garbage words to come to something that is of value. But it helps me. So, and I think it might help some people along the way. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Anyways, I got to get ready for work. It's going to be another long day for me, and I won't be getting home until probably about midnight, and I'm not looking forward to that. And I hope you enjoyed this live stream. And have a wonderful day. This is Pierson. Cheers.